Chapter 31 to 32. So, what do you want to talk about, Amon? Gonfal asked as he was sitting at a table, with Amon sitting opposite to him. Both had a glass of juice in front of them. Hey, that's Kami-sama for you. Riki yelled from beside. Amon picked up his glass. *SSSB*, shut up, Riki, Amon said gently as she flinched. Anyway, Gandalf, I have a favor to ask you. Gonfal also ignored Riki as his eyebrows rose. Oh, that's quite a surprise. And here I was preparing for a battle. Ha 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 ha, Gonfal said as he laughed. He wasn't sure why he was called. He knew that his relationship with Shandians had also improved, so harming him now would be unexpected. What? I already let you live, why would I hurt you now? Amon asked, but didn't wait for his answer. Anyway, as God, I could have just ordered you rather than asking a favor, but this is pretty important for me, so I hope you will help me. This piqued Gonfal's interest. Oh, do tell how I may help. May I hear about it? You see this girl? Amon pointed at Riki. She has bad manners, she curses at this age, she talks bad to elders, and she hides her face. She is also a pervert. Overall, she is a bitch. Eep. Riki jumped in fright and confusion. What are you saying, big brother? Under the mask, her eyes became teary. Oh yes, I can see that. Gonfal nodded as he remembered their previous encounters. So do you want me to teach her manners? Well, I'm quite good at it. Since before I became a god, I had to complete many kinds of courses. Pretty much, Amon replied instantly while sipping his juice. But this is a sub-job. Mainly, I want you to teach her swordsmanship. Gonfal showed confusion. Well, you do know I use a lance, right? Gonfal asked, as this time he also sipped his pumpkin juice. Oh, pumpkin juice. Thanks. Amon laughed a little seeing this. Anyway, as you said, you did all kinds of courses, didn't you? Amon asked. So you should know about swords too, even if it's a tiny fraction. Besides, the lance is not that different from swords, and you are the only one I know of who has knowledge in this category. Amon said, It's a request though, you can refuse if you want. Well, Hey, what about my consent? I won't learn under a fallen god. Riki cut just as Gonfal had opened his mouth. Consent? Is that something we eat? Amon said as he laughed out loud. Soon after a few minutes of Riki's meaningless struggles, she finally agreed, only at the requirement that Amon would have to train with her too. Amon agreed too, since he didn't mind learning a bit of sword art. All right, but not this month. I have very important work to do. Amon said. But no buts. Amon placed his hands over her mask, where the lips are supposed to be. I'm doing this because I can't contain myself not seeing your face, Amon said. If you want to hurt my soul more than it already is, then you can reject, Amon said as she just stayed silent, while Gonfal just looked at them with strange emotions in his eyes. Oh, Cobra, look at your son. He has not only grown strong, but also treats his sister so nicely. Gonfal thought with a grandpa-like smile. Soon after, Gonfal took Riki away, as she struggled, but after Amon's glare, she did what Gonfal asked her to. Seeing them go away, Amon released a long breath. Besides Riki learning how to properly use a sword, Amon did this for only one reason, and that's to know about society. Although the society in Amon's previous world and One Piece world is completely different, at root, the fundamentals are the same. Humans are monsters and hypocrites. If he had to be more specific, the one and only reason he did this is Riki's acceptance. The current Riki accepts him with what he is, mostly because the people around her, the Shandians, view these evil and horrible things that Amon does as not so bad things, so Riki sees them the same. Even then, there are things even Shandians will deem as bad, however, that doesn't affect Riki's mind at all, just as long as it's her brother who's doing this. However, Riki doesn't know what bad, good, horrible, society and manners really are. That's the reason why she accepts him blindly like this. But in the long run, when her blindfold gets off, when she one day learns about them for real, then what? What will she do? Will she act the same when she learns about these so-called morals and this society of hypocrites? Or will she rebel? Only time will tell. Night time, a few days later, while Amon was sneakily walking around the main ruins of Shandora. People might look at this strangely, as to why God is sneaking around, but Amon had a genuine reason. Even right now, while the Shandians were sleeping, the Karakiri slaves were still working hard, as they only get 3 hours of sleep. Even that is too kind for them. Soon, he came to the biggest golden structure, located in the middle of the city. This building's top is the start route of the giant jack. Amon then entered the structure. A few minutes later, after taking many turns, he went to the most underground part of the golden building using a hidden door. There, around an hour later, Amon reached a straight line of the hallway. There were doors on both sides, as each of the doors had 20 meters of space between them. After taking a few steps, Amon turned at the door with 3 written on its front. This is his lab, the place where he does human research. Though currently, he has only one test subject, who's also dead. At first, this location is only accessible by the hidden door. Even then, this is a confidential location, as only a few people know about the hidden door, let alone this lab. So there isn't much security except some scan dials in front of the door, and also an electroformation of dials inside the room, which will shock people to unconsciousness, unless it's Amon. However, even that much security is nothing in the world of One Piece. Though there is an actual reason for that lack of security, and that is, there is nothing important inside this lab. Not even the dead body. This was just a front with just a few medical accessories in it, that even the few who knew the location weren't aware of. Ignoring the third door, Amon walked through the very long hallway, as after a few minutes when coming at the 23rd door, Amon stopped. Without saying anything, he then went to the empty space between 23 and 24th door. The 20m gap between the two didn't look any different than the other ones. But as if knowing something, Amon sat down there, and after pushing his hands on the floor here and there blindly for a few minutes, Amon got up. As by then a small part of the floor was sunk in the floor like a human head-sized key button. Smiling, Amon then looked up at the roof. He then started to jump like a kangaroo while pressing in different spots on the roof. Again, after a few minutes of struggle, the same type of key press effect was shown in the roof, though it's around 10 meters away from the previous one. This key effect is a must for the next action, but the keys are random every time. Soon after, Amon looked in front of him at the golden wall, as a small human head-sized area was opened, and as if from a sci-fi movie, a machine came out with a blood drop droplet symbol on its futuristic screen. Amon penetrated his finger's skin with a needle that he brought and dropped the blood on the small gap on the machine. Beep. Descendant of Shandorians detected. Beep. Current era's owner, Shandorian Amon detected. You may enter, the emotionless robotic voice said, as Amon then waited, while something like a slide futuristic door, the golden wall between 23-24 door got separated. There an elevator was waiting for Amon. Inside it, the walls were made of pure steel, or maybe even a better material, as it was shining from the light bulb on top. Amon slowly stepped in without any caution, as if he has done this previously before. Beep. Taking the master of Shandora to the hall room of Shandora City. The robotic voice said as the golden door closed, and the elevator started to sink. As it went down, it didn't even make any sound, but Amon could feel it going down and deep. Soon after, the elevator stopped as it slowly started to open. Beep. A white fog will be released that will make anyone who doesn't possess Shandorian blood unconscious. BPHHHH. As the door of the elevator opened, a white fog entered it. Amon stood there calmly as a few minutes passed, and the fog vanished, making Amon catch a glimpse of the scene behind. Damn. Even though he has seen this already before, he was still impressed. The walls were made of pure steel, or maybe something better than that, as it was shining under the limelight. There were many places where there were walls seemingly made of black gold. There were small spaceships, submarines, and futuristic weaponries laying around. There was also plenty of futuristic medical equipment a bit ahead. Overall, this looked like a scene straight from the future. Amon finally did something, though it was just his usual chuckle. Who would have ever thought that under Jaya Island there was a fucking futuristic city? This is a legacy left by the inhabitants of Moon People, the kings of the City of Gold, the ones who created the perfect robotic AI, the automata. The one kingdom which needed the efforts of the 20 kingdoms of the world government to be destroyed, the great Shandorians. Deep underground below Jaya, the upper yard, Amon was inside the main hall of Shandora, as he was currently sitting in front of the giant computer screen while staring at the high-tech webcam, though this wasn't a dial. The AI, controlling the computer screen, made a sweet image. Smiley face. Welcome home, master. Albeit its face, the tone wasn't sweet. Rather, it was as emotionless like a rock and cold as a winter night. Just a few meters behind him, an ancient yet futuristic coffin was laying sealed. This wasn't at this same place when Amon entered, as it proved he had pulled it here after entering. Though inside the coffin, it wasn't the dead body of the woman named Rhea. Currently, although he was smiling while sipping his juice, Amon was, in reality, on full guard. This whole place with the area of 10 football fields was completely under the AI's control. The AI was a dangerous existence. From his previous encounters with it, he knew better not to fall for its smiley face. After searching meaninglessly for nearly a year, Amon found this place around a few months ago. Discovering an underground futuristic city type thing was in itself a surprise, yet he even found an fucking dangerous AI. He was scared as fuck at first, but he soon calmed down as he remembered about the android automatas in the moon. Enel's space journey. After going through some precautions like blood tests and lineage DNA tests, Amon was entitled as the so-called master of this place. Yet, this shitty AI won't let me access everything. It even has the locations of ancient weapons. Fuck. Amon cursed internally, while still smiling. Though he was sure it wouldn't harm him yet, he was always ready to fight a battle. Does Conqueror's hockey work at AIs? He thought. Hello, Sarah baby. How have you been? Amon asked as he sipped his juice while looking at the webcam. The supercomputer, or more accurately, the AI was called Seraph, was the receptor of the question. Amon calls her Sarah sweetly. I've been doing fine. The emotionless robotic voice echoed through the hall. Amon just smiled as it formed a crescent moon in his eyes. Fuck, I'm feeling unsafe. Amon thought with an internal gulp. He could feel the different kinds of weapons all around, but all that were just the ones outside. The dangerous ones were underground, inside the walls, and inside the rooftop. He felt they would come out of the wall and attack him the moment he tried to attack and destroy anything in this hall. Or even touch them, like what happened last time. Yes, even if the AI calls him Master, it still serves under its initial creators from 3 millennia ago, and the Masters from 800 years ago. It would have loved to do things according to Amon's asking if he was an actual Shandorian, not a half, like the Shandian tribe. However, since the Shandorians have already gone extinct, there is no other way for her to complete the orders given to her by her actual masters, but to use the child in front of her. Amon couldn't use his observation hockey on the AI as it didn't have a soul. However, he knew at some point it would work. After all, the AI might not have a soul, but it does possess a will. That's the reason why it's still working according to its master's words. Amon knew completely that the AI was a dangerous existence, and according to its own words, it's been existing for more than 4 millennia. Amon just sipped his juice while resting his chin on his hand, while smiling towards the AI. Bitch makes a smiley face. Face yet uses an emotionless tone. She supposedly can't feel any kind of emotion. Amon laughed mockingly, internally. Like I would believe that crap. Though he didn't know much, he was well informed about the existence of automata, the androids created by the moon's inhabitants. The automatas are supposedly able to feel emotions and were super loyal to its creators, as after the moon inhabitants left, they had been protecting the moon from alien invasions until their charge ran out. So Amon was sure the AI also feels emotions, as their creators are the same race. She is dangerous, and smart enough to use a female voice patch. Amon thought, it's an instinctual thing that a male, doesn't matter if it's a human or not human, would feel less danger from a female than from another male. This could prove how knowledgeable and dangerous the AI is. However, it's not a perfect existence. If it was, it would have used a more happy tone in its voice along with that happy face of hers. If she said she does have emotions, I would have let my guard down a little. Amon sipped his juice. From someone from the modern world, I know better to trust an AI. At least not one that I didn't create myself. Amon thought silently. However, he was smiling happily in the front. Sarah, I have been missing you so much that I wasn't even getting good sleep. So I came to meet you. Don't you feel happy? Amon struck a random conversation while he glanced at the printer beside him. AIs can't feel emotio dash. Anyway, did you organize all the history into a summary? Amon asked as he interrupted her. Previously, he had ordered her to organize the history from the winged race, the Shandorians, in a summary as according to the AI. Their history started from 4,500 years ago. Yes, it took a while to make 4,500 years into a small summary. I apologize for my bad services. Amon smiled. Nah, you are too good. I almost feel blessed. He said, anyway, give me a copy and narrate it to me yourself. A few seconds later, many pages of paper came out of the futuristic printer. Amon picked one up and started to read it a little. Today's is 1511th year of Kaioshin calendar. Amon read it out loud. These papers contain the history starting from 4,500 years ago, from the point when the winged race first went to the moon, to Shandora City's destruction 800 years ago, and to right now, is it? Amon asked as the AI beeped. He then started to think. So Luffy will start his journey in 1522nd year. Amon thought as the AI prepared to start the story. A/N, the year can be considered canon, though the exact year isn't confirmed by Oda. According to most of the sources, Roger died in the 1500th year of this calendar. Oh, the calendar name is very confirmed by Oda. Soon the robotic voice echoed through the room as it started to narrate the story. In summary, a certain winged race left Earth to live on the moon around 4,500 years ago. There, they incredibly advanced their technology and created an advanced civilization. As she narrated, Amon also read the same line. While living in that new atmosphere, their already existing wings mutated, and they started to have 3 different kinds of wings, as it was the start of the subraces named Burkans, Skypieans, and Shandorians. There they also created a city. There, since the Burkans were the strongest, and some of the special mutated ones could even fly using their wings, the city was named Burka City of Moon. Amon nodded, hearing her. He already asked her about the moving wings before and learned about this information, so he wasn't that surprised. Rather, he was disappointed. How disappointing? Amon shook his head, as he was kinda disappointed how the city was named Burka, rather than being Shandora. Though in the end, he didn't care much. The three races together had also created the androids who are able to feel emotions, named automata. As she said, Amon looked at her webcam and smiled. And she said the best creation of the Shandorians, can't feel emotions? Dangerous. Time started to pass forwards, as they kept living there peacefully. In the Wheel of Time, the three races' relationship started to worsen, though they never went into an all-out battle or war. Yet, wanting to take precautions, the Shandorians created me, the AI named Seraph, though the other two races did not know about it. Amon looked at the webcam, surprised. Oh, happy birthday, I guess? The AI ignored his words and continued. Soon, around 1,000 years had passed, but no war had happened between them, as at a certain point onwards, space pirates, aliens were trying to invade the moon. The races had to work and fight alongside each other to repel the space pirates, so they tried their best to avoid a civil war. However, even though they tried their best to protect their land and the resources of the moon, as close to 3,000 years past the resources were running out, and their life was getting hard. So just around the start of the new calendar, 1,500 years ago, Amon thought, around 1,700 years ago, by the time of their 2,800th year on the moon, most of the resources of the moon ran out. So the three races decided to go back to the blue star, the Earth. In approximately 100 years, they did so using their own race's spaceships. As she said this, Amon looked around as he spotted two medium pirate ship-sized spaceships, but his eyes also wandered around the whole hall room. Who's to say this whole thing isn't a massive spaceship? The Skypieans and Birkins landed in the island clouds in the sky and started living on the Sky Islands, forming Skypea and Burka. However, the Shandorians were lucky enough to land on the Holy Verth, as they inhabited Jaya and lived there. They also met a small tribe who called themselves Shandians. This piqued Amon's interest as he paid more attention to the words. After meeting them and doing some tests, they confirmed the Shandians as their descendants who were left behind in Earth 3,000 years ago. Though most of the Shandorians didn't like it, the Shandians were lucky enough to consider it a part of Shandorians, as then they started to live together. Amon felt as if the AI was mocking him using the name Shandian, as he almost broke out in laughter. He didn't care what his race/tribe was. He would only care about the benefits. Soon, the AI continued. The Skypieans and Birkins' life was peaceful since their technology was also around 1,000 years more advanced for that time. There weren't any problems at all for them. So they lazed around and their technology started to deteriorate. Amon was surprised hearing this. After all, even if the AI was in Blue Sea, she still had this knowledge on Skypea and Burka. Though he instantly realized the Shandorians had most likely provided the information in all of those years. Soon another 100 years passed, as the new Kaioshin calendar started, meaning just 1,524 years ago. In the sky, with no need to fight, the Skypieans and Birkins started to live peacefully, and their technology slowly regressed, though it was still a lot better than most Blue Sea ones. Seraph the AI said. However, it wasn't the same for Shandorians as 1,100 years ago, meaning around the 400th year of the Kaioshin calendar. Their small kingdom got famously renowned as the City of Gold, Shandora. While their previous peerage was regressing, the Shandorians were going through their golden age. Amon knew this part from the anime, confirming the authenticity of her words, as he then started to trust her information a little. After they landed in Jaya and mined gold from the land, for 400 years, the pirates in different kingdoms across the world attacked them for trying to take over their technology and the gold that they found under Jaya. At that time, the whole of Jaya was a golden city, unlike now where only a small part of it is. The AI then continued. To survive, they kept upgrading their technology, as it even passed the ones they possessed on the moon. Even I, the supercomputer AI, was also upgraded a lot. Oh, congratulations. Amon smiled sweetly towards the webcam. The AI ignored him and continued. They lived like that for approximately 200 years, as then during the Void Century, their kingdom fell for taking the side of the Great Kingdom that dominated the whole world. What happened? Amon asked instantly. Weren't Shandorians so strong with their technology? Why did they lose? Amon asked, curious. Like I said last time, you aren't eligible to know that yet. I'll just say our advanced technology was our fall, as it was the one to attract the 20 kingdoms. Amon frowned upon hearing her. Even though the AI already considered him as master, she won't reveal the important things. Not even let him touch the weapons around this place. But soon he smirked. Did you just say our technology? Do you consider yourself as a Shandorian? The AI went silent as its happy smile from the screen also disappeared. Soon, she just ignored the question and continued. Amon just chuckled. At that time, the Shandora city, the City of Gold, ranked the same as Wano, the Country of Gold. They even had such a close relationship that they had the formality to marry one another too. Amon nodded his head. He was also reading it himself, as he caught an interesting line. At that time, they even had a few technologies that were only second to the ancient weapons. Amon was impressed and a little terrified too. All the advanced motion capture CCTV cameras around the hall had already captured Amon reading that part, as the AI skipped narrating that. Although the Shandora were considered one of the top 5 strongest countries at that time, and they had these types of weapons in their sleeves, after getting attacked by another 20 strong kingdoms, most of the gold and their technology, along with those weapons, were snatched away. But the Shandorians destroyed 93% of the ones which were left by themselves. As they knew, their fall was inevitable. Amon then started to think, so along with this AI, all the things in this hall is only 7%. Damn. Seraph continued. After this, I was hidden inside this place, underground, while the Shandorians' descendants, the Shandians, who were lucky enough that 10% of their population survived, were ordered to protect the ruins, without any knowledge of this hall's existence. While very few old people had this knowledge, they were killed or threatened for their life. Slam! Amon slammed the keyboards. Damn. So Shandorians killed my ancestors' Shandians? Amon thought as he gripped his hands out of act. The Seraph was silent for a minute or two, as she continued. After that, the remaining ones kept doing what they were ordered to do so, as they even fixed a small part of Shandora's Golden City, and started to live there. Although they were only told to protect the land for the Pongilf, the other reason is to protect me, the AI. They kept doing so without their knowledge. The AI then went into a short silence. I apologize again, as being locked inside this secluded place, I had close to only 1.09% chances to gain new information. Though with my advanced technology, even from this underground, I could see and hear their words clearly. Amon whistled, hearing her. He was truly impressed at this feat. However, I do know some of the information, she said. Soon Calgara's Tim Dash. All right, that's enough. Amon interrupted her. I will listen to Calgara's story some other day, Amon said as he also put the papers down. He then released laughter without any particular reason. So this is how the Shandorians fell with their city of Shandora 800 years ago. This clears many things. Every time Amon used to hear the chief talking about the Shandora city's fall 800 years ago, he questioned himself. The gold is still there, so why do they call it the Shandorians and Shandora's fall? Now he gets it. The WG did take the gold, yet a lot of it is still here. However, the 20 kingdoms, or more specifically the current world government, didn't take all of it. This was kind of strange, as humans would never be satisfied with what they have, so they were supposed to take all of the gold. Obviously, unless they were satisfied with something more important. That being the advanced technology of Shandora, and most importantly, the life of Shandorians, the ones with the knowledge to create these technologies. Ha 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 ha. Amon laughed as he glanced at Seraph's webcam. While the world thought the Shandorians' deadly technology had fallen along with them, who could have thought the main power, the AI Seraph was still there, charging herself from the trees of the Jaya, using their photosynthesis powers. While the small tribe, Shandians, were still protecting the city? Ha ha ha. And now with the AI, I have all the knowledge of the world. I just need to make her open herself to me. But first, Amon looked at the coffin behind him. Time to move the wings.